Unfortunate souls in pain, in need. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and I help them. Yes, indeed. Those poor unfortunate souls. So sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron saying, "Spare Ursula, please," and I help them. Yes, I do. Sorry, just that you ever listen to... Hold on, let me just correct this right now. Ha Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. Welcome back to yet another One Piece chapter reaction and review. You ever hear these Disney songs with the villains and everything? But why do the villains have the best songs? Like Ursula from The Little Mermaid. What is it? What is his name? Judge Frollo? Is he a judge? Priest Frollo? Friar Frollo? Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. You have Dr. Fusilier from Princess and the Frog. Literally, Scar has a fantastic villain song. Disney villains have some of the best villain songs ever. It's weird how, and here's the thing. Let me correct this so that way chat can have its own personal space over here. But it is weird how they have such good, memorable villain songs. I mean, sure, we remember all the hero songs from like different films and everything, different Disney films and everything, but it's really the villains that stand out the most. So, in the last chapter of One Piece, I know, horrible segue going from Disney villains and then just going into One Piece, but I don't want to get off into the whole Disney villain things because that can carry on for a long while. But in the last chapter of One Piece, and we've been on break, so now we get to look forward to chapter 1017. It's not up on Viz. I'll pull it up on Manga Plus. I can't even spell manga. I was about to call it, I was about to leave out the N. But it's not up on Viz quite yet. But 117 is up on Manga Plus. Let me refresh the page for Viz. It is not up on Viz. So, we're going to read it from Manga Plus because it's essentially the exact same thing. Getting a message from my family. No, it's not from the family because we did a very difficult song during praise and worship service at my church, and we just burned right through it. It was fantastic. I felt good that we did it, and we did it masterfully. Well, the rest of the band did. I was just trying to match up to their greatness. But it's just the pastor saying we did good and everything. So it's up on Manga Plus, and it's up on Viz. I just prefer to read from Viz. Sorry to keep you guys delayed. All right, so chapter 1017, The Order. Last chapter in 1016, it ended with Yamato facing off against Kaido. And Kaido decided to take on his hybrid form and fight Yamato, and they both clashed, and there's some black lightning that struck out from the top of Onigashima, and we usually only see black lightning clashes when two people with a Conqueror's Haki clash with one another. So whether Yamato has Conqueror's Haki remains to be seen. But welcome everyone. I know Kohagen's here, I saw Ogata-san, I saw Phantom Descent. Everyone who is here, I really do hope you enjoy yourself. Let's get started. Chapter 1017, The Order. Reader request, a chimpanzee solving puzzles with Buggy's body by Kami Sonaru. Yeah, or is it Kami Sonaru? Yeah, it looks like Kami Sonaru. So Buggy is here, just playing puzzles with this little chimp, using his body as pieces to put together. You know, that's actually kind of wholesome with Buggy. And the thing is, we kind of normally do not get a bunch of cover page requests with Buggy as the center. Not lately. Not lately. All right. Performance floor inside the dome. And we have Tama. And remember, Tama was about to say something, but she didn't say anything yet. Now we get to see what she has to say. And all the Beast Pirates and even Queen is looking up there, looking at Tama, saying, What is that kid doing in the middle of a battlefield? And Tama is looking on. And Bao Huang was caught up in Usopp's Green Star Devil. And Queen is saying, "What happened, Bao Huang? Who are you, little girl?" And then Tama passes out. Does she have stage fright? She just straight up passes out. Her eyes go all swirly and she foams at the mouth and she just falls over. But then we have Nami and Usopp running in with Usopp saying, "Hang in there, Tama! 4th floor." And we're on the floor with Jinbei versus Sasaki. We are finally getting some panels dedicated to the Straw Hats fighting the Tobiropo. Yes, please. We need this development. Because the longer we go without the Straw Hats beating these Tobiropo, the longer Wano's going to be before we actually see the end of their fights. So I'm glad we're getting Sasaki. Oh, not Sasaki. Who's who? Not Sasaki. Who's who? I'm saying it now during the stream before someone leaves a comment saying, "Oh, no, that wasn't Sasaki. That was who's who." I'm correcting myself live before you guys try and correct me. Because y'all do it. Y'all do it a lot. But, we have one of the cat girls who's with who's who shooting at Jinbei. Apparently, she actually shot at Jinbei because he's bleeding from his mouth. Jinbei's been shot. And then who's who says, "Not a word of complaint, Jinbei. This started as a battle of 5,000 against 30,000. We were always going to be out." Oh wait, this is Jinbei saying, This started as a battle of 5,000 against 30,000. We were always going to be outnumbered. I never expected you to fight me one-on-one from this. Oh wait, this is just Jinbei saying all this. I never expected you to fight me one-on-one from the start. And then who's who says, "Very perceptive of you. You've been a real pain." That's right. Our job is to keep you officers occupied. And then we have Frankie saying, "Here comes more of them. All these grunts keep swarming out of the woodwork." Because remember, Frankie is facing off against Sasaki. Jinbei is facing off against who's who. Oh, we're counting for everyone. And now we're cutting to Jack versus Inuarashi. And Jack is saying, "This is what it means to fight a battle of numbers. Don't blame me for it." And then Inuarashi is just huffing and puffing. And then we cut to some other gifters as well, saying, "Apparently the pleasures and the waiters on the performance floors switch sides on us. What a bunch of jokers. What should we do with them? Beat them down and kick them out. Punish them all. Eliminate every last traitor on the floor. Yeah, it's the gifters!" So it's Beast Pirates versus Beast Pirates. Now, it used to be Beast Pirates versus Samurai and Pirates, but now it's like they're turning on each other. It's just utter chaos on the performance floor. But now we're back with Usopp and Nami saying, "You can do it, be strong, Tama." And then Tama says, "Oh, all my friends who ate the kibitongos." She's yelling again. Huh? "Please listen up." What's with that brat? Knock her off that balcony. "You gotta change sides and fight for Big Bro Luffy and Momonosuke." And we got the Heart Pirates who have Luffy on their submarine. And they're, expelling all the water that he just had. They're trying to resuscitate him because he's just full of water right now. "Hang in there, Straw Hat. Don't die on us." And then Tama is just huffing and puffing. And we have Shinobu, who's with Momonosuke, and Momonosuke is crying, "Kinemon! Kiku!" And Tama is saying, "You gotta help us beat Kaido." And then we have Lady Speed, who's there saying, "There we go. She's given the order." Briscola? What's the matter?" "Someone pound that little kid flat, whatever she's talking about." And we have Briscola, who is the dude that has the gorilla on his left arm. He braces himself. Briscola, what are you doing? And Briscola, heeding the command of his master, says, "Your wish is my command, master." And he uses a gorilla arm to basically beat up all the beast pirates that are around him. "The gifters are acting strange." "Yeah, I got ya, master." "Whoa, why are they obeying that little kid?" And then we have Daifugo here. "Take down Kaido. Join in, boys." "What do you mean, Daifugo?" "Hey, what's going on?" And it shows that the gifters that were with Jack and everything, with Jack, they heard this command as well, and they're starting to attack the beast pirates that are there with Jack. Giving a little aid to Inuarashi right there. Inuarashi, seeing all this, says, "What does this mean?" And the samurai are looking like, are they infighting? And we got the weird giraffe dude. I forget his name. I remember the chicken man. For some strange reason, I remember his name, but I can't remember the giraffe gifter. "I hear you loud and clear, master. Hamlet's gone mad." There it is. His name is Hamlet. Why is it that it's the weird people that I remember their names of? Why do I remember Fortrix, but I can't remember Hamlet? Oda traumatized me with that gifter. That chicken gifter, oh my god. And then we have other people who are giving aid to Jinbei, including some gifters that are there with Who's Who. "Jinbei, first son of the sea! I'll handle the peanut gallery for you. Just focus on crushing Who's Who." "Fourth floor speaking. Poker the headliner has suddenly turned traitor." "What are you doing, Poker?" And then we have other gifters giving aid as well. "We're gonna help you out, samurai." "Second floor speaking. We're behind Straw Hat all the way. The gifters are turning on us." "What?" And we have one of the Marys watching all this commotion, and then we cut to CP0. "Very strange. What is happening?" "Gifters are rampaging on the third floor." Right Brain Tower speaking. "The gifters are out of control." Basement floor speaking. "What's going on, man? All of Onigashima is in chaos." And it shows a massive panel with Queen in the background, just watching all the gifters just starting to beat up on all the other beast pirates. Left Brain Tower Pleasure Hall by the pond speaking. "You did it, Otama." "The plan was a smashing success." And then Queen charges up his black coffee beam, saying, "Did that little kid do this?" And Usopp and Nami see this, and he says, "Uh-oh, look out!" "But we got your boy, Sanjay!" "Ooh, with Collier! Strike!" And he literally kicks Queen's head down into the ground, saying, "Darn it, Judge's son again." This is the third time we've heard Judge's name come out of Queen's mouth. But Sanji says, "Don't ever say that name to me. Are you part of his insane research team or something?" "You mean Mads? That was ages ago. Just look at my body. I'll come straight with you. I'm a cyborg." And now we see Queen's hybrid form. We see Queen in his hybrid form. His neck is shortened up. He has a super long tail. His tail has turned into a cybernetic tail. Think if Dr. Octopus was part of One Piece. That's exactly what Queen's tail looks like. It has a telescopic, his tail is telescopic, and it has like a pincher at the end. And then his arm, which was, not mechanical in his full Zoan form, has gone back to being mechanical again. And he's preparing to face off against Sanji. I'm sorry, his braid? I would have overlooked this if I didn't pay attention. His hair braid has a pincher on it. Is his hair cybernetic too? How does that even work? It's hair. What the heck is this? But Queen's in his hybrid form now. "Just look at my body. I'll come straight with you. I'm a cyborg." And then Sanji says, was that supposed to be a secret? And then all the other beast pirates that are still on Queen's side says, look out! It's Queen's man-beast form! Keep your distance. So you figured it out, huh? Not that it'll help you win. And then Sanji says, can you manage things over here, Chopper? And we have both the doctor and the little chipmunk girl with him saying, I'll be fine. You just focus on yourself. Oh, wait, who's saying this? What the heck? Wait, who's saying I'll be fine? Oh, crap! Oh! I'll be fine. You just focus on yourself, Sonny. Okay, but I can't help but worry. So is it true, Miyagi? Did you have this medicine on Zoe the whole darn time? What the heck is going... Yo! Oh! What is going on with Chopper? He got that Benjamin Button! What is going on with him? He got that Benjamin Button disease! What the heck? I don't know enough about it to give it to him. Does it really have ultra-regenerative effects? Yes, but it'll be temporarily, and in return, you suffer twice as much later. Baby Geezer Chopper, Rumble Ball side effects. Bruh! Because of what Chopper did to his Rumble Balls, he got Benjamin Buttoned. He got reduced to the size of a baby, but his mentality is that of an old person. Chopper got Benjamin Buttoned! What the heck, man? And he is so small, he fits in... What is her name? Tristan. He's small enough to fit in the already small hands of Tristan. You know, the chipmunk girl? Or is she a squirrel? I think she's a squirrel. Chipmunks have short tails. Tristan has a long one. He is so small, he fits in Tristan's hands. The side effects of his Rumble Balls reduced him to a baby old man now. That's why he sounds like, just focus on yourself, Sonny. I can't help but worry. I don't know enough about it to give it to him. Does it really have ultra-regenerative effects? What the heck happened to him? And Miyagi and Tristan are also taking care of Zoro as well. Let me just get off of this. Yo, the heck? What the actual heck, man? But oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're talking about ultra-regenerative effects because they plan to give it to Zoro! Yo! They plan to bring Zoro back into the fight! Remember how I know I'm getting loud, but remember how I said, Zoro's gonna be out. There's no way they can keep Zoro in the entire fight. Now they're thinking about giving Zoro a regenerative medicine to get him back in fighting shape again, but he's gonna suffer some serious side effects once it's done. Suffer twice as much side effects once it wears off. Think when Wolverine took that, whatever that medicine was, that adrenaline rush in Logan, and he got massively tough, and he went on a full-on berserker rage. Yeah, they kind of want to do the same thing to Zoro, only without the whole berserker thing. But Zoro says, there's no time for debate, just give it to me. I don't care what happens to me later. You heard that. The only thing that matters is being able to fight now. And now wow, okay. Zoro's coming back. Zoro's not done. Zoro is not out of this fight, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna wield Enma one more time. But now we cut to the 4th floor. I'm only on pages 12 through 13. 4th floor, and we have people screaming out, "Gifters! Why?" And then we have Sasaki pulling out his sword, which is just a very short sword. Like, he has it in a full-on scabbard. But the blade is short. I don't know what's happening, but it's clear I have to actually try fighting now. And then he swings at Jinbei with a move called Blade Pistol. And then Jinbei counteracts this with Gyojin Karate. And he and it rebounds and it hits Sasaki, and Jinbei uses Karaksagawara Seiken. But Sasaki uses Shave, Soru, to jump out of the way of the punch. So he uses moves. He uses move of the 6 powers like CP0 because he jumps above Jinbei and he uses Tempest Kick. And Jinbei blocks it using Haki, because you can see on Jinbei's arm here, if you're following with me, you can see on Jinbei's arm that his right arm is black. So he used Haki to block the Tempest Kick. But it winds up, since Jinbei deflected it, it winds up slashing apart a tower inside of the 4th floor that they're in. Should I call this Iron Body then? Those are the 6 powers, the fighting abilities of government agents, which reminds me. And then we finally see Sasaki in his hybrid form. Just picture Rob Lucci, except in the manner of a saber-toothed tiger. But Rob Lucci's hybrid form is much cooler. I heard about a member of the secret government agency CP9 who escaped from jail. Seems strange that a secret agent would be in prison, however. I can't believe you remember that. Yes, that was me. I knew you, but you don't know me. So, Who's Who was part of CP9, but he was sent to prison for some reason. Wait, before I even go to the next page, could he have been in the same spot as Rob Lucci, but Rob Lucci replaced him? I could be wrong. I happen to like what I am now, but I went through hell all because of a single little mistake 12 years ago. You know, they used to say I had just as much potential as the genius Rob Lucci. Well, okay, so name drop. Rob Lucci name drop. And he uses, okay, so you know how Rob Lucci uses finger pistol. Who's Who can use the same thing, but with his fang called Fang Pistol. And it just narrowly misses Jinbei, but the Fang Pistol completely bores through a tower behind Jinbei. And Jinbei continues fighting Sasaki, right? Who's Who? Right here saying, yes, I've never seen those 6 powers before. I pity you, but I have nothing to do with your fate. That's where you're wrong. Remember what you said, helmsman of the Straw Hat crew? Very proudly. The mention of that name brings back the bitter past. 12 years ago, a devil fruit was stolen from a government ship, and when Straw Hat Luffy appeared 2 years ago, I was shocked to learn the truth. That Straw Hat had eaten the very gum fruit that was stolen from that ship. Oh my god! What? Are we gonna find out the story behind how Shanks got the gum fruit? The world government had the fruit first. Then why did they have it? Why did they have it? And then Shanks took it from them. Oh my god. Whoa. We're going to find out where the gum fruit came from. How the government got it. What purpose they needed it for. And leading up to Shanks taking it. What? Oh! That's a backstory I didn't really think much about. Of all the things and loose ends I've thought of concerning this story, I never thought that the story of how Shanks got the gum fruit in the first place would be ever brought up. And now who's just dropping the fact that the gum fruit was on a government ship 12 years ago. And Shanks took that same fruit. So, whoo. Why? Why did the world government have the gum fruit? Of all the devil fruits in the world, why did the world government have that one? That's the end of the chapter. Hold on. What if Luffy's devil fruit is part of Joy Boy's prophecy? Hired CP9 to protect it and throw who's who under the bus. Sounds like something the world government would do. We're at the end of the chapter. Next chapter hits 4th of July, which is going to be next Sunday. So we're not going on break after this. How do you drop the fact that the gum fruit was on a government ship? So it was either a CP9 ship and they were delivering it, or CP9 was escorting the government ship that had the gum fruit on it. But the fact that it ended up in Shanks' hands, does that mean we're going to get the backstory of how Shanks got his hands on that fruit? I think it was Lucky Roo that took it. Lucky Roo, a bad somebody. Everyone on Shanks' crew is a bad mama jamma. But if it's Lucky Roo, like, you seen how big Lucky Roo is for him to go on a government ship, and there isn't a single member of Shanks' crew that has a scar on them, except for Ben Beckman, I think. And Shanks does not count because he let himself get scarred in that way. But the fact that none of the crew have ever had any debilitating injuries to them, save for Shanks and his arm, all this time, oh my goodness. Let me see what all you guys have said. Let me see what all you guys have said. Let me see. Wow, y'all said quite a lot. Luigi, good to see you. El Gogeta, Grant Dolman, Karma, Anime Juke, Rax, CJ, Uwukun. I'm never gonna say it that way again. Is Yamato now a confirmed Straw Hat? I hope Yamato will be. We still need a villain to join, like Oda said they would. Yamato has no purpose being a Straw Hat because she read Odin's journal. He already knows. Jinbei has just appeared in the anime. Well, I can't say that I didn't want to be spoiled on the anime when I'm reading the manga. I know how it's going to be, so that doesn't bother me. But for anime-only viewers, hey, Kyushu, I'm surprised Inuarashi hasn't easily beat Jack. Well, he doesn't have access to a Sulong form due to him being indoors. Ah, yes, the head in chicken's butt man, of course. What's cracking, y'all? Yo, Chopper's bounty gonna drop after this arc. He's so adorable. Take my money, baby Chopper, chibi Chopper. Oh, yeah, you definitely believe it's gonna be turned in either a Nendroid or some little minifigure as, some little minifigure of some kind, and people are gonna have that on their shelf. We already have Chopper figures, but now we're gonna get baby Chopper? Chopper got Benjamin buttoned is my new favorite sentence. It has One Piece in different mangas. I was hoping that his bounty would be able to rise to 200 berries. Chibi Chopper, 25 berries. Didn't even see him before they showed me where he was. If you want to read, they had to need Zoro, but breaking his bones. Or now you got Zoro's a beast. Nothing's gonna really happen after Zoro is done. Even though the path there was confusing, the end result is going to be Luffy, Zoro, Sanji versus Kaido, King, Queen, as expected, and hopefully we can find out what race King is. Hopefully! Because this dude has been non-existent for a little while. We only seen his head pop up in the last chapter or the chapter before last, but we haven't seen him really interacting with anyone lately. The last time we saw him doing some actual fighting was when Marco was fighting Queen and just bodying Queen all over the place. And Marco was fighting King, and that was it. But we haven't seen him doing too much, except for one specific panel in one of the recent chapters where he's just looking as either Kaido has Bao Huang announced that Luffy's been beaten, or Momonosuke is speaking over the Marys doing that. Either one of those two. I told you Zoro ain't out. Karma, you were right. Who's Who looks like he would be in CP9. Love dude's observation. Fires Shanks as snitch. Nah, he ain't. Shanks does what he wants. But the one thing that sets him apart from any of the other Yonkos is that he doesn't need to sacrifice human lives in order to do what he wants. He's the, he would be the most passive-aggressive Yonko until you really provoke him. I mean, ask Kid. He'd know. Been waiting for this. Luffy compromised Shanks. In what way? You can't compromise a person who, as we've seen, has not been that very compromisable. That's not a word, but it is now. Shanks stole from the world government. Now it's time for theories. Must be pretty OP if the government has it. Like Law's devil fruit. I think it was Lucky Roo that took it. Could have stole it from pirates. They could have. What if Luffy's devil fruit is part of Joe Boy's prophecy? Prophecy. I already read through that. Wonder if Shanks stole it personally because he's still good with the government. Maybe it was Roxas fruit. Maybe. And when Luffy eats the fruit, Shanks adapted to the situation. The plot thickens. I think the biggest question is why CP9 were transporting a devil fruit. Is it an important fruit? Exactly. Why would the government be transporting this fruit of all fruits? Why? Sure, it renders you immune. Does Queen have some degree of Conqueror's Haki? No. Sure, the Gum Gum fruit renders you pretty much immune to blunt force trauma, or at least extremely resistant to blunt force trauma, unless you are unless you're more powerful than the person you're fighting, and also renders you completely immune to just straight up being electrocuted or any shock damage of any kind. But it's pretty much just in the hands of Luffy. We've seen how versatile this devil fruit is. But outside of Luffy, it just makes your body rubbery. And if you don't have like the adaptability and creative insanity that Luffy has, it's not something that most people are going to be able to bring the most out of. So in the eyes of anyone other than Luffy, why is the government transporting this fruit of all fruits? Why? Like Law's fruit, I understand, because it enables a person to, perform an operation that can grant someone eternal life. That I can understand. The fish fruit that Big Mom has, we've seen what it can do, especially in the hands of an extremely powerful individual like Kaido. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Dang, what was I saying? Luffy isn't immune to Haki, Conqueror's Haki, though. It must be something else. I mean, wait. I didn't say anything about him being immune to Haki or Conqueror's Haki. When did I say that? Another question is, where were the... Oh, we were talking about the different fruits that would be incredibly important. Probably a scam, likely asking him to buy some devil fruits. Oh, no, that was my mom. She was just checking in on some things. Checking in on Kenzo, making sure he was all right. He threw up a little bit last night, so we're just gauging the food we're going to give him today just to make sure he's okay and he doesn't have any accidents. He's fine. We just, we got to make sure we watch him when we take him outside, because he is he said that is immune to force. I said blunt force trauma. blunt force trauma, bullets and, hits from people if their strength is under his own. That's what I said. I never said anything about him being immune to hockey or anything like that. That's ridiculous. Someone on another stream pointed out that Rob Lucci might have been talking about Who's Who in chapter 421 on page 10. 421. Hold on. 421 would be how far? Okay, my pages don't go back as far as 421. No, my pages don't go back that far. I need to get the other volumes. But let me look it up here. Let me look it up here. Let me bring up the whole list. Chapter 421, page 10. I've joined. I got a membership. Let me see chapter 421. Still need to get the other volumes. I'm working on it. 421. Page 10. Okay, so here we have Lucci fighting Luffy. And Lucci says, "You're worthy of being captain. I'd like to tell a certain idiot I know about you, but can your ability keep up with your commitment?" I wonder, is he talking about Who's Who from way back there? From all the way in Ennie's lobby? I'd like to tell a certain idiot I know about you. Wow. Okay, Rob Lucci. You might be talking about Who's Who right there. Interesting. Good God, that's very interesting. Just finished reading and jumping. I can't believe I never had the thought, why did Shanks specifically have the gum fruit before? Seriously. Okay, let me see what else you guys have said. But let me go back to what I was saying. Law's fruit is a fruit worthy of being transported around and sought after by the world government because of its ability to grant a person eternal life. I mean, that's the reason why it has the nickname the ultimate devil fruit. At the cost of the user's life, it can grant another person eternal youth or immortality. So I understand Law's fruit being something that be transported on a government ship. But the gum fruit, though? That's kind of confusing for me. Because it just makes it's everyone who sees Luffy use this fruit for the very first time thinks it's a ridiculous and oftentimes silly fruit to have until they're beaten by him. So why would the government go out of their way to secure this fruit? Because I highly doubt that the government is just going out there just searching for all devil fruits and just to hoard them for themselves and not for pirates. I mean, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that they would do something like that, but it just doesn't strike me as something that they would go head over heels for to accomplish. So why would the government be transporting the gum fruit of all fruits? So many theories right now. Is there a hidden potential of the gum fruit that we are not seeing? Could the gum fruit be considered one of the ones that the government seeks after just as much as Law's fruit, possibly? Is there some hidden potential of the gum fruit that we just are not seeing? We've seen so many applications that Luffy has applied to the gum fruit over all of these years that we've been in the middle of this series. We've seen all the things he can do and all the things he's learned to do on the fly using this fruit. I mean, with the ability of his Gear Second, I'm not even going to say that, Grant. But we've seen that Luffy can do things that would normally be able to kill a normal person with his fruit. Like his Gear Second is a complete, perfect example of that. he can stretch the blood vessels in his body. Whenever he pumps his body, he is literally forcing his blood vessels to pump more blood throughout his body, enabling him to go even faster than before and react even faster. But if you did that with a normal person's body can't expand to the level that Luffy's body can, because it's not just his outsides that are rubbery, it's his insides as well. It allows him to pump more blood throughout his body so he can move even faster and sustain that. A normal person do that, their blood vessels would literally burst, and their heart could possibly burst by over pumping too much blood into it. So Luffy has that potential of doing things that no normal human can. Even if they're a Logia user can't just buff up their body in that manner. Luffy can, because his body internally can do that. But is there a hidden potential or hidden power of the gum fruit that we are just not seeing for the government to go out of their way to transport it? Now people are going to be coming up with theories about what hidden potential does the gum fruit have. All because of this one chapter. And let's not overlook the fact that Jinbei is facing off against Who's Who, but Who's Who was a former member of CP9. And given the fact that someone said in chapter 421 that Rob Lucci says you're worthy of being captain, I know of a certain idiot who I wouldn't mind telling this to a certain idiot I knew a long time ago. That's insinuating that he might be talking about Who's Who there, because Who's Who was put in prison. Like, if I go back here, if I go right here, I happen to like where I am now. I happen to like what I am now, but I went through hell all because of a single little mistake 12 years ago. You know, they used to say I had just as much potential as the genius Rob Lucci. So apparently Who's Who was pretty much, they say that he had just as much potential as Rob Lucci. And we've seen Rob Lucci, and Rob Lucci was the only person to almost full-on beat Luffy with just brute strength alone. Never seen I've never seen those 6 powers before. I pity you, but I have nothing to do with your fate. That's where you're wrong. Remember what you said, helmsman of the Straw Hat crew? Very proudly, the mention of that name brings back the bitter past. 12 years ago, a devil fruit was stolen from a government ship. And when Straw Hat Luffy appeared 2 years ago, I was shocked to learn the truth, that Straw Hat had eaten the very gum fruit that was stolen from that ship. So that single little mistake was, like some of you said, they probably blamed Who's Who for the gum fruit getting stolen, and they threw him in prison just to cover their tracks, and just threw him under the bus. So, Who's Who was there? He had to have been there. He had to have been the CP9 member assigned to keeping guard of the gum fruit. And because it was stolen, they blamed him, and in true world government fashion, decided to deal him punishment by imprisoning him. Okay, let's see what else she said. Luffy hasn't used the full potential of rubber. Dude should literally be able to shapeshift. I mean, possibly. I mean, we've seen him stretch, but not bend his body and make it malleable in the way of Mr. Fantastic or Kamala Khan in that way. I expect someone to be, like I said, I'm not going to say that one. I wonder what Jay and Joy Boy Theories will say about the revelations and illusions in this chapter. What if Shanks knows about Joy Boy? That's interesting. That'd be interesting if Shanks knows about Joy Boy, and that's the reason why he took the fruit. What if Luffy's devil fruit is connected to Joy Boy and Shanks gave him his hat? Maybe the hat is like an omen or something that Luffy is Joy Boy? Gum fruit makes people smart at fighting and dumb at everything else. Kind of like Goku, a little bit. He literally has to go grocery shopping with a hand-drawn picture of, you need chicken, so draw 2 chickens and say that's how much you want. We need pork, draw 3 pictures of pigs and say that. We need one beef, and we need these potatoes. Goku literally has to go grocery shopping with a hand-drawn list. No words, just pictures. Get 2 of these, One of those and 5 of those. But the man is a master at fighting, though. He can figure out stuff like anybody's business when it comes to fighting, but when it comes to anything else, you're better off asking, 10-year-old Gohan. Because his 10-year-old Gohan is smarter than 50-year-old Goku. If only Luffy had the Synapse Extension secondary ability that most versions of Mr. Fantastic has. Could you imagine? Ooh, he still hasn't awakened his fruit. I know, did Shanks know something? That's why he had it? I do not put it past Shanks, because Shanks is so knowledgeable. I mean, who else? What other Yonko do you know can infiltrate Marijois of all places, and have the ability to speak to all 5 elders, where the 5 elders tell their own guards to leave? We need to speak to this man. Shanks has some ridiculously high pull when it comes to, high-ranking people out there in the world. The reason Bleach failed is because the protagonist isn't dumb. I wouldn't say Bleach failed, it was just rushed. But, Shanks, this just puts more theories on Shanks, like, why did Shanks take the fruit? Did he know something about the fruit that all of us don't know? Is Who's Who gonna tell us why the gum fruit was on that government ship? This just leads to more questions. But you would think that with the way that this chapter ends, we would be going on break to let us stew in these theories. But we're not, because we're just coming out of break. So now we got to look forward to next Sunday, where we can hopefully see more of this conversation expanded upon. But I wouldn't be surprised if Oda decides to go the route of, shifting from this conversation and then going to the other Tobiropo. Because in this chapter, we only saw a little bit of Frankie going up against some beast pirates, but we didn't see Sasaki that he was facing off against. We didn't see Black Maria or Brooke and Robin fighting. We didn't see them whatsoever in any panel of this entire chapter. So I wouldn't put it past Oda for him to divert from this conversation and then dedicate it to other things. One good thing about it is we finally got Tama issuing the order for the gifters to start attacking the beast pirates, so we don't need to worry about us waiting on Tama to give the word for them to start fighting. We also got Sanji facing off against Queen, who has assumed his cybernetic form. I still need to ask the question, how does one turn their hair cybernetic? How? It's hair. It's hair. Hair! You can't control your hair unless it's a devil fruit ability or your Medusa. So how does he have a pincher, like a cybernetic pincher, in his hair? And even his tail is telescopic in his hybrid form. And he's got all these cybernetic enhancements. And apparently, Queen was a part of the scientific team for the Vinsmokes way back when, part of the Mads group. And if I remember correctly, Mads is what they used to come up with their clones, I believe. That's the substance or scientific thing that they had in the room with all the clones when the Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji were showing Sanji around. Kanjiro did. Alright, I forgot about his Devil Fruit ability. I forgot about that. But way back when, he was saying that he was part of the Mads group ages ago. So let me go back to it. You mean Mads? That was ages ago. Just look at my body. I'll come straight out with you. I'm a cyborg. And then it shows cybernetic hybrid Queen. With a sword in one hand, his cybernetic arm in the other, which isn't normally seen in his Zoan form. Cybernetic hair ponytail, which some of you are saying may not even be a real ponytail at all. It may just be just a add-on piece that he has, and his tail being cybernetic and a Dr. Octopus style tentacle. But Queen was a part of the Mads research team. Now, if I look up Mads, not Mads Mikkelsen, Mads. Alright, so if I put up One Piece. One Piece. But pull up sad. Alright, Vinsmoke, created by the practical application of Vegapunks and Vinsmoke just discovery of the universal genetic blueprint, the lineage factor. I need to look up the Germa scientific team. That's what I need to look up. Okay, let me see. Germa Kingdom subordinates. Where is it? I'm trying to look this up because I want to look up their scientific team. Let's see. Soldier Stock Depot. Does that have Mads in it? No, it just has 66 and just countless clones. Laboratory is highly secretive, off limits to anyone except the kingdom's scientists and members of the Vinsmoke family. Mentioned that even the royal children were not permitted entry during the childhood, and adult Sanji was shocked to discover what was contained inside the depot. Contains a multitude of numbered liquefied capsules, each containing a Germa 66 clone soldier, most likely a relatively recent addition to the castle, since the scientific discovery used in the cloning process was a recent discovery of Judge and the world government scientist Vegapunk. Okay, let me pull up lineage factor. And then let me see if I can pull up Mad. It doesn't pull up Mad, but it just pulls up Sad. By applying lineage factor, Caesar Klein was able to create Sad, a key ingredient used in the development of artificial devil fruits known as smiles, as explained by Trafalgar Law. However, they are restricted to the Zoan class. So Sad is restricted to the Zoan class. I wonder what Mads is. I mean, that's the scientific group. That's the scientific group he's a part of. But now it just begs the question, what all was Queen a part of? Cybernetic hair, that probably involves making it a fiber optic. Possibly like a major fiber optic cable. Then again, this is One Piece. When you are cut in half, they can fix you with some spit and stitches. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Even if you get sliced apart, you can just be repaired. You can just easily be repaired by just stitching yourself together. I mean, Odin cut the mountain god boar completely from stem to stern. And, you know, getting sliced that way should straight up kill you. But later on, we see that the mountain god boar is completely fine and just traveling around with everyone just stitched up through the sides. And it's fine. So yeah, just, you know, rub some dirt on it and you fine. That's the mentality of getting hurt in One Piece. Well, I'm surprised you remember all three brothers. Oh, I'll never forget Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji, because it's basically 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, and Yonji, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4 in Japanese, just with a G on the end. Well, G as in J-I on the end. I only remember Ichiji and Yonji. Wish I could stay longer. I'm happy I caught the stream. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. Alright, Anime Juke, hope you enjoyed yourself. Including his teeth. I wonder if Shanks was planning on eating the gum gum fruit or a member of his crew. That begs the question. That begs the question on why Shanks had the gum gum fruit. Because I don't think Shanks just took it just to sell it off to someone. Doesn't Mojo from X-Men/Marvel essentially have cybernetic hair? I think he does. But Medusa tends to be the one that I go to the most, since she's the most hair-oriented person with, you know, moving hair and stuff like that. Overall, this was a good chapter. And now it's just going to open up more theories from everyone else wondering just what the gum gum fruit has to do with the entire narrative now. Because now the gum gum fruit just went up on people's list of, okay, we need to keep an eye on this devil fruit now. It's not just Luffy's devil fruit and he's incredibly powerful with it. But now we are starting to learn the history of how the gum gum fruit got in Shank's possession now. That's what it seems this conversation is leading to. Now, whether the next chapter is going to tell us how that goes, or if Oda's just going to shift to another conversation entirely, remains to be seen. But now that this conversation is just taking place, in chapter 1, Shanks said he stole the fruit from his enemies. Makes me wonder where the fruit was being transported to. Shanks had both the gum gum and the chop chop fruits. Well, I believe Roger had the chop chop fruit. Oh, wait. Before anyone tries and correct me. Chop, 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 chop. Bada bada no me. Alright, history. Not the uses, where did he get it? Where's the history of it? It was eaten by Buggy accidentally. Let me look at the history of Buggy real quick. Before anyone tries to correct me, let me see this. Chop chop bada bada no me. Okay, this was during the time when they were on Roger's crew. He and Shanks frequently argued over whether the North Pole or the South Pole were colder and was reprimanded for their endless squabbling by Rayleigh. At some point over 27 years ago, the Roger pirates raided another ship out at sea, and during the battle, Buggy found a map leading to treasure at the bottom of the sea. He kept the map for himself and talked with Shanks after the raid. Shanks revealed that the crew had obtained a devil fruit in the raid, so during this time when Buggy found the map that led to the bottom of the sea, the crew, not Shanks specifically, but the Roger pirates found the Bada Bada no Mi. And Buggy became very interested upon hearing that it was worth 100 million in the market. And then afterwards, Buggy tried to demonstrate that, tried to use a fake fruit to eat it and say that, hey, I ate the fruit, so you don't need to worry about it, but he still had kept the other fruit so he could sell it. And he wound up eating the real fruit accidentally when Shanks caught him and talked to him, eliminating his ability to grab that treasure at the bottom of the sea. So the Roger pirates got the Bada Bada no Mi specifically. Not specifically Shanks did. Shanks must know about Joy Boy and Gomu Gomu fruit if related. I always wondered where Oda never explained why Shanks had a devil fruit when he said in chapter 1, what good is a pirate who can't swim? Buggy believes Shanks forced him to eat the chop chop fruit. I believe Buggy. Why not where? This just brings up so many questions. Never did we really pay attention to why Shanks just had the gum gum fruit. We just thought that, with him saying he took it from his enemies, okay, we didn't pay it much mind. We really didn't. We really didn't pay it much mind. But now that Who's Who decides to bring it up that he was part of pretty much probably was the person guarding the gum gum fruit while the world government was transporting it, now begs the question of, wait, why did I call him Franks? Where did Shanks get this fruit from? How did he get his hands on it? So now this conversation is just going to bring up so many more theories. But we're going to have to think about this another time because this is about to lead into a full-on hour of me talking about this. Let me read one last comment and then I'll bring it to a close because we got My Hero Academia after this. I wonder if the treasure map Buggy lost will ever come back and it was important. That's a very good question. What treasure was down at the bottom of the sea that Buggy was so willing to just dive down into, but now he can't get it because he's a devil fruit user? Gotta love when Oda gives us answers and at the same time gives us more questions. Exactly. Like Queen dropping that he was part of the scientific group with the Vinsmokes ages ago. And then leading questions of, well, where did Shanks get the gum fruit from? Who's Who was part of a government team that had the gum fruit and was transporting it, and then it was stolen? Now we're starting to put two and two together, and now it's just leading to even more questions. Not just Shanks, but why were they transporting the gum fruit of all things? In the eyes of anyone else, it's just a basic devil fruit. It just makes you rubbery. Not many people think it goes beyond that. It just makes you stretch and it makes you rubbery. What else can you do with it? Well, I can't be electrocuted and bullets just bounce off of me. Like, you can't hit me with a headshot because the bullet will just literally bounce off. And that's to the average person, it doesn't seem like the fruit does all that much. But to the world government, there is no such thing as a coincidence. There is no such thing as, oh, we just have it just because. There is no just because reasons for them having a devil fruit. Never. So there's something more going on with the gum fruit that the world government knows, but we don't know yet. Zoro's condition. Here's the thing. Zoro, I originally thought that just because Zoro was the one person to inflict a lasting scar on Kaido, and then having all of his, pretty much the majority of his bones broken because of the conquest of the seas combo attack between Big Mom and Kaido, that he was going to be out for this entire arc. Now we're hearing that there's a medicine that is going to be able to let Zoro keep fighting, but the drawbacks is going to hit him twice as hard once it wears off. So they're looking to give Zoro an adrenaline shot with massive regenerative properties in it. That'll enable him to keep fighting. But once it wears off, oh, your boy is going to be out. Your boy is going to be out. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back into being in another coma again, like he was when he survived taking in all the pain that Bartholomew Kuma took out of Luffy and made Zoro jump, and Zoro just jumped into. And then he went into a coma afterwards, and we haven't heard too much about him. And well, we didn't do too much leading into Sabaody Archipelago because, you know, his body was just still massively hurt from that whole incident on Thriller Bark. I don't know why I said we haven't heard much about him. That came out wrong. But Zoro is not done fighting. So if they give him this regenerative shot, once it wears off, Zoro's going to need some serious downtime. Because here's the thing, it's going to give him regenerative properties, but I highly doubt it's going to make him go back to being at 100%. Because if they say that the drawbacks are going to be twice as harmful as it heals you, then it's going to be as if he was never healed at all, plus he's going to have twice as much pain. Not only that, but we have Chopper in a ridiculously diminutive state, but mentally, he's old. So that's the drawbacks of him extending his Monster Point form. Because it used to be like 10 minutes where he could spend in Monster Point. Now because of the suggestions of Caesar Clown, who told him, well, what's the matter hey, are you really a pirate? What's the problem with taking risks? Because Chopper took this risk. Now he's in a baby, literally can hold the entirety of Chopper in your hands, baby size, but mentally is an old man. Chopper has been Benjamin Buttoned, and we don't know how long this effect is going to last. So Chopper is pretty much done fighting for right now. We don't know how long it's going to last. I can't say he's out of the fight permanently, but Chopper has done all that he can as of right now. Then they're talking about giving Zoro this adrenaline shot. We have Jinbei fighting against Who's who basically was a former member of CP9 and has a major grudge against all the Straw Hats just because the ship that he potentially was guarding, he doesn't outright say that he was guarding. One simple little mistake, I was put in prison because of this one simple little mistake, with that simple little mistake alluding to the gum fruit being stolen. Now, we can't exactly say if it was Shanks who took the gum fruit or it was another pirate group that took it and then Shanks took it from them. You could say that, but I'm leaning towards Shanks being the one who raided their Who's government ship, took the gum fruit, and then they threw Who's Who under the bus and put him in prison. all those years ago, which means that he was possibly in Impel Down this whole time. And when Luffy came there to get info on Ace and try and get him out, but it then broke out in the massive outbreak. It was either when Luffy. No. It wasn't when Luffy was there. It was there when it probably had to be when Blackbeard had to have been when Blackbeard broke into Impel Down, broke everyone out in an attempt to get more members for his crew, and Who's Who slipped out during the entire chaos. So Who's Who probably was in Impel Down until Blackbeard came and broke out everyone, finding new crew members, and he just slipped out from there. Wouldn't be surprised if they put him on level 6. That's why we haven't heard of Who's Who in at any time. Though Rob Lucci obviously alluded to him in chapter 421. So thank you for that reference. I never would have put 2 and 2 together if you guys never pointed that out. All the more reason for me to get the rest of those volumes. But interesting. And this got me out of my chair, so a 9 out of 10, because now we're delving into the history of the Gum Fruit potentially. But we'll have to see. And I've already gone far longer than I was intending to. I was intending to start My Hero Academia at 1 o'clock, but, just carrying on this conversation just opened up so much more potential. Can you imagine playing similar parts in One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 or 5? Here's my problem with Pirate Warriors 4 is that they didn't do enough with that game. They had so much potential to literally bring it to a level beyond One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, but they chose not to, and it just chose to give us just another Muso game with some new characters, but they just didn't do enough. You got all of One Piece, and you only do like the bare minimum with DLC characters. You don't add new skills, you don't add new missions, you don't add new anything. You just drop characters, and then you just drop support for the game overall. I would very much like the person who was in charge of One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 to do the next One Piece Pirate Warriors game, not the one who did the last one, because it was lacking. As much fun as I had with One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, it was severely lacking. So I would very much rather someone else take the reins if we were to ever get another instance of Wano in another One Piece game. So that way you can actually do it justice the next time. But I'm also okay with them not doing another One Piece Pirate Warriors game and just do some other Muso game. Bleach, Fairy Tail, Black Clover. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Overlord. There's literally so many other different animes and properties that they can do Musos for. I think it's time to give One Piece a rest. So, that's my thoughts on it. We are never going to get a correct Wano in a One Piece game. No, because since the fact that the arc is not over, they're going to have to make up another ending as they've done before, like they did with One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, when the ending of Dressrosa wasn't done, and they had to make up an ending for defeating Doflamingo. So, it's just out there in the air. I just hope we get some more licensed Muso games sometime in the future. I feel like we need it. let me see. I wonder if the treasure map lost will ever come back and it was important. That might be an unfortunate possibility. But yeah. That's it. That's it, everyone. I'm done with my review and reaction of One Piece. It's just putting up more questions. Now I'm going to have to read through the history of the Gum Fruit just to see if anything has been added or anything that I've overlooked. Might even have to read through the entire first chapter of One Piece just to see what Shanks says and everyone says concerning about the Gum Fruit that you guys have already said as well, but I just want to read through it myself and see if there's anything that could point towards potentially new information, because it's just like Oda to just give us answers at the beginning of the series, and we don't realize that they're staring us in the face until much later. That's Oda's style. He gives us the answers at the beginning, but later on, literally years later, we find out that, wow, that's been staring us in the face the entire time and we never knew. That's just Oda's style, and that's what makes these chapters so great. So, that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Would Soul Calibur make for a good Muso game? Maybe. I mean, remember, a Muso game is best when it has characters that have, like, widespread attacks that can cover a large radius and tons of enemies to fight. What would be the enemies? That'd be a good question. If you think of a licensed property, if you think of a licensed property being turned into a Muso game, what would be the enemies you fight? I mean, for example, if you wanted to make a Power Rangers Muso game, then you would have the Putties, or any of the run-of-the-mill enemies from any iteration of the Power Rangers. If you have Bleach, you could have like low-ranking Shinigamis, or low-ranking Arankars, or even the low-ranking Stern Ritters. Those can be your enemies, or even Hollows. Those can be your basic enemies that you can copy-paste over and over and over again and fill up an entire screen with. Naruto, you can have basically just any ninja from any other village. Or Zetsu, if you're fighting in the 4th Great Ninja War. Or Shadow Clones, if you're fighting against people who know how to use the Shadow Clone Jutsu. There's literally so much potential. You just got to think of what enemies are you going to be fighting over and over again, and what are the officers going to be looking like. Those are the things you got to think of when it comes to a Musou game. So in a fighting game like Soul Calibur, what type of run-of-the-mill enemy would you be able to fight versus the character that you're playing as? Those are the things that come to mind. So I like to cover all my bases when I'm asked that sort of question. So I can't really malfested, random soldiers, lizard man, etc. Doesn't sound bad. I mean, if Zelda can work it out so you can fight the same enemies over and over and over again and they don't seem repetitive that way, then any other property can pull that off as well. I just hope we get more licensed Musou game. Not just with enemies, not just, I was about to say anime, but it came out enemies. Not just with anime, but different properties. Can you imagine a Star Wars Musou, or a Marvel Musou, or a DC Musou? There's just so much potential, but we could literally go on hours of me talking about this, and I won't be able to get to my hero. So, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel, and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples, on to my hero.